Are you kidding me? That made surfing look awesome. There's a thing called like, you can like party wave, and there's two surfers riding, and that was like pretty much as dangerous as surfing gets right there. You don't want to party wave when your life's on the line, you know? Hey Vanity Fair, my name is Kanoa Igarashi. I'm a pro surfer, and we're gonna be reviewing some surf movies. Alright, so right here you can tell she doesn't really know what she's doing. And she looks a little bit unsure when she's paddling and her feet are up. She's not catching the wave. Like, she missed the wave just then. But in this scene, she's actually on the wave. And that wave wasn't that big, actually. That wave was probably like 3 feet, and all of a sudden, this next scene is like 8 feet. It's close enough. Whoa. Is that a double? That's not the same person. The scene of her like paddling into it, you could tell the person didn't know how to surf. And all of a sudden, like, they really knew how to surf on the wave. So I was like, so that must be a stunt double. Oh my God. And then this third scene, she's like one of the best surfers in the world. So it's like, there's 3 different surfers in one scene. Pipe, I was just there like a few hours ago. So yeah, this is actually Pipeline. It's one of the most famous waves in the world. They have some of the biggest surfing events. And this is like the exact scene of like, everyone's so close to the beach. It's like intense. The real Hawaiian scene. Like, I think that's the Volcom House. One of them is Kala, right there in the beanie. I saw him like 8 hours ago, actually. I was just in Hawaii right before this. It's pretty crazy that they incorporated like that real scene in a Hollywood movie. Right here when she's in the barrel, I can't tell if that's real or if that's like green screen, but that's like as good as it gets right there. That's like top-notch pro surfer. Oh, has to hit the reef. Oh, I called it. Leash is stuck in the reef. That's happened to me like once, and I pretty much like panicked, and I was like, yeah, this is it. But you're hoping for the leash to break. So like her leash is like stuck around the coral on the bottom somehow. So she's just waiting for like the tension to just break off, and she can just come back to service. These days we have a technology called the quick release, where you can just pretty much pull your leash, and it's like an eject cord. And it's like when all plans go wrong, you just use that one and you get out of that situation. But yeah, it looks like this is a pretty old movie. They don't have that technology yet. She was able to get her leash off, luckily. That's probably like 30 seconds underwater. When you're like turbulent and you're, you know, getting pounded, like, yeah, here comes the next wave. There's so much going on, like 30 seconds underwater doesn't seem like that much. Like when you're in your, like a bathtub. But when you're like in the ocean, you're getting like tumbled around, 30 seconds is like an eternity. So the only thing you do is like just relax, and like, you know, the more you move, the more like oxygen you use. So you just have to like relax all your muscles and be like, all right, I'm just gonna let this pass through. Even me watching it, I feel like I'm like like losing breath, like watching this. I know what she's going through. Even though it's a movie, I'm like, yeah, that sucks. All right, so let's check out one more scene from Blue Crush. It's funny, this is actually Hawaii, because the ocean in Hawaii, the bottom, the sand is like groomed that kind of way too. Hawaii is one of the only places where I've seen that has that kind of sand below. I think Hawaiians have been training like that for forever, I feel like. I mean, I don't know about people behind you like that, but that underwater, like with a rock, it's good cardio training. It's like a stress cardio almost. Like you need to like switch off your mental like anxiety, and then like be able to hold your breath for as long as you can underwater. This is like the ultimate surf training, really. This is Point Break, the 2015 remake. I think it's in Tahiti, right? Chopu, yeah, I want to say Raimana was in it because he always talks about this movie. He was like, you see my scene in Point Break? Well, I'm watching it now, Raimana. Oh,
Ready?
oh, Laird Hamilton.
Here comes the set of the day.
So that guy that came in to pick up the other surfer was Laird Hamilton. He's a famous big wave rider. To have someone like that pick you up and tell you the wave of the day is coming in is like, all right, it's on. Oh, so that's Raimana right there. I don't know what he's driving and what he's doing, but I always stay with him when I go to Tahiti. It's crazy. Chopu, like the scene like in the water is exactly that. Like boats everywhere, people like screaming, like cheering, because you can see like the sets coming from like really far away. That scene was exactly it. It's like the set of the day is coming in, like get on.
There's 2 guys racing the same way. Who's got the inside?
Who's got the inside? The person that has the inside means the person has priority to go on that wave. When it gets serious in the lineup, it's like the drivers have to like snake their way and like navigate their way into like, you know, the inside of other jet skis, which is pretty dangerous. But that's kind of what's happening here. You can tell there's 2, you know, sets of athletes trying to catch the same waves. It's like they're fighting for position. Wait, hold on. So this scene of Raimana going like this. Now it all makes sense. So we all make fun of him when we're all driving a ski. It's called the Raimana. And so everyone goes like this. I never really understood why, but I mean, I even do it. It's like whenever I see Raimana, I'm like, move, get out of the way with the ski. And so that's exactly it right there. I finally get it. That is so good. Oh my goodness, that's a ginormous wave. Oh my god, did he come out? Are you kidding me? That made surfing look awesome. That was like a 25-foot wave, and there's two surfers riding, and that was like pretty much as dangerous as surfing gets right there. And then you have two guys riding. There's a thing called like, you can like party wave, but you don't want to party wave when your life's on the line, you know? So yeah, right there, they're pretty much doing a party wave. And that's like, you know, you do that when it's like 1 foot, 2 foot, and you're just having fun with your friends. Not when it's 30 foot and death defying. But so pretty much the surfer in the back got their like line cut out by the surfer in the front. Like when you're going and you have like wakes from the other surfer, your line isn't as clean. And so you lose a little bit of speed. And just losing that little bit of speed, you're just mistiming the whole wave. I'm just thinking about like the actual guy that's doing this, like the stunt double, like how did he not actually die? Like I think that was actually Laird Hamilton, like stunt doubling. That's like real respect right there. I hope he got paid a lot of money for that, because I don't know how much money I would have to get paid to take a wipeout like that. Dogtown was pretty much the name of the now Venice Beach, and the Z Boys were the surfers and skaters around that area at the time, where surf and skate was like, that was the thing to do. Yeah, my dad loved this like lifestyle of just like skating and surfing. And my dad was really good friends with Tony Alva. I'd go surf with him and I'd go skate with him, and he'd always like give me skateboards and teach me how to skate pretty much when I was growing up. So like being around that and like actually seeing that like in real life was pretty crazy. And like, you know, obviously it was such a legendary movement. Sick.
It's Judgment Day, boys.
What did he say? It's Judgment Day? I think because he saw one of their peers like shoot the pier. I think they wanted to shoot the pier too.
You broads aren't surfing now. I ain't surfing no sloppy seconds. Working rock patrol mop top.
Sloppy seconds are just like, he didn't want to surf the waves when the waves got bad. So they wanted to surf like when the conditions were good. And normally, I'm assuming like when the like all the older guys would go in like out of the water when the waves got bad. And so that's when the kids can go surf. They didn't want to surf the sloppy seconds. They wanted to surf when the conditions were good with the elder guys. Surfing, a lot of times there's like localism, and you can tell that there's like a, you know, the older peers have that like, they're pretty much just owning the lineup, and the lineup is pretty much like the surf break, and you got to earn your right. And so it's pretty much like the younger kids having to like show the respect to the elders to earn their spot to go surf. So in surf terms, you'd call that like, that's sketchy. Sketchy is just like dangerous. Surfing is, you're pretty much just surfing into like poles of concrete, you know? Where I grew up surfing in Huntington Beach, we have a pier as well. I love shitting the pier. It's just something different. I don't know, it's just like a weird feeling. It's just like it's more of like a accomplishment thing. It's like, oh, I just shot the pier. I mean, nowadays it's normal because I've done it so many times. I've hit the pier before, the pylons. Once you get like a little bit too comfortable, you hit it, and it's pretty dangerous. Next up, we have Surf's Up. Cody versus Tank Surf Off. My favorite part of the movie.
And I hope the camera's rolling, because you're going to want to watch it over and over and over and over again. It's going to be awesome.
And then he wipes out. Yeah. They play like 10 times. Oh my god. I remember watching this and I was going like, yeah, like obviously like the kid, like Tank is like, he's like the bad guy. He's like, no one likes him. And obviously Cody, like in the movie, Cody's gonna win. Like, you know, it's like, he's the one challenging him. Like, he's a good kid. He's gonna smoke Tank Evans, you know? And when he was doing those like offset interviews saying like how he's gonna beat him, how the first wave is gonna be amazing, I was like, yeah, like let's do this. Like I felt like it was like relatable, you know? Like Cody was like the young guy. And then when he did that, when he like fell and went over the falls on that wave, I was like, what? That wasn't supposed to happen. I was so invested in the movie. I was like, hey, that's me. You know, I'm relating to him. That's me in this situation. And then when he fell, I was like, you're not supposed to fall. Like, come on. Having that like vibe of like everyone watching on the beach, and then like You know, you can tell that he has his friends there. Everyone's like cheering on. All the friends that he's made like over the last like few weeks. And then everyone came to like watch him surf, and then he's like going up against Tank Evans, who I think is supposed to be like the Sonny Garcia of the movie. Who's like, Sonny Garcia is like this big Hawaiian guy with tattoos and like, you know, he's like the aggressive guy. Cody is like a young Kelly Slater maybe. And then it's like, you know, having that like challenging scene. It's like, it's real life, you know, like I felt like that when I got on tour, like when I got on the championship tour, when I was 17 and I was going up against like all these guys that are, you know, over 40 years old. I was like, all right, like I gotta like, you know, hold my ground against these older guys, like, you know, talking smack on me. And then yeah, it's relatable. Like you know, you think you're gonna hold your ground, but then you wipe out and you lose. As funny as it sounds, like I'm a kid at heart, so yeah, I did like I was like remember like little scenes like being 17 and competing like at Hawaii and stuff, and like thinking like, all right, yeah, I'm Cody and that's Tank Evans, like that's the bad guy. I gotta take on the bad guy. And all my friends are here watching. It's so serious. It's like that's like the classic angle too. Like it's so well done, and like the way he's paddling and the way his facial like the way he's like reacting to these waves, it's pretty funny. You feel like in the movie, and then you have like Tank Evans like all cocky and like nonchalant. It's so funny. It's such a good movie. I think it's my favorite surf movie. In real surf movie wise and animated surf movies, this one takes the cake. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching these surf movies with me. Hopefully we have more of these. There's plenty of more surf movies to watch, and peace out.